Hiya lovelies, or welcome if you're new here, I'm Linz. So we are going to be doing beef burgers again today in the air fryer. Now if you've been here for a little while, you would have seen that the first time I attempted homemade beef burgers, they were a little bit more like, well they weren't, they were like giant meatballs in a bun. But I bought this shortly after that video and it's been shoved in the drawer. I completely forgot I had it, and when I found it about 2 months ago again, I decided that I was going to have another go at doing homemade burgers. Now, do homemade burgers actually save you any money compared to the pre-shop bought versions? I'm going to say no. But at least I know what is going into these, and you can put whatever you want into them. This is a really simple recipe. These are going to be nice, chunky burgers, not meatballs. So hold on now. Right. What I found with some of the experimenting I've been doing is, to start off with, I was trying to use lower fat mince content, beef mince content as possible. And they were just falling apart on me. Now, yeah, I am going to be adding an egg into this and stuff like that, but the beef mince, I'm just going to bring this down and show you. The beef mince I am using, this is it here, and it is the 18% fat version from Lidl. Now, this was the big kg kind of block. I froze half of it, and this is the other half. Just please excuse the voice and things like that. I don't know what's going on. I just been feeling a bit for the last couple of days, and I just can't. Don't know what it is. It's not like a cold. I'm just exhausted, and my throat just feels a little bit. But anyway, in here, getting back to it, is I've separated this out. So this is 500 grams I have in here of the 18% fat beef mince. Now, is it the best quality? Probably not. Well, it isn't, is it, if it's got 18% fat in it? But this is the one I have found that seems to make the best burgers. And I've tried round mince, I tried minced steak, all that kind of stuff. So, now, you could probably get about maybe 5 or 6 out of this. I'm going to be making 4. So that is just the way we're going. And I've got a feeling my bowl's probably not going to be big enough. But into this here, I am using some Italian mixed herbs. As I said, I've been experimenting with like different stuff over the last couple of months since I found the burger maker thing. And this is one that has stuck with me. So I am putting in there a good tablespoon of the Italian mixed herbs. Again, whichever seasonings you prefer. You know, if you just want to have them kind of plain in themselves, then maybe just use salt and pepper. Sorry, this is spit it out, Linz. Garlic granules, and I'm putting a tablespoon in as well. Now, I have a lot of fresh garlic at the moment, but I find it doesn't mix through as well as the granules do. I'm going to be using some black pepper and 1 teaspoon, shall I say. Oh, you can put a tablespoon in if you'd like. And a teaspoon of just plain table salt. I'll write this a little bit more for good luck. There we go. Now I have 1 medium egg. That's it. Hope I didn't get any shell in there. We're going to have a crunchy burger. And to start off with, I'm just going to give this a bit of a mix through. I have got the gloves there because we're going to have to get the hands dirty for this one. Yeah, I should have used the bigger bowl. Never mind. Because I have in here. Now, again, experimenting. I have an awful lot of white onion that that's homegrown, that's drying outside at the moment. But I found for some reason red onion works a little bit better with this. So this here is just 2 medium, finely sliced onion or red onions. I don't know, it's just, it was a thing. I just think it tastes better. I suppose if you think of, you know, the fancy posh burgers, caramelised red onion. We're not going that far. So this is just a case now of making sure we mix all this together and throw it across the kitchen at the same time, you know, as you do. I will say, lovelies, if what I'm going to be doing with these is when I make them into the patties, the burgers, I am going to be freezing 2 of them. Now, you do not want to have, this has to be fresh, okay? You don't want to have defrosted your mince, or any meat really for that matter. Do something with it and then put it back in its raw form. If you're going to do that, you're going to need to cook them all first, which is no problem with this recipe. You can reheat them from cooked, and you can cook these from frozen too, because I've been doing that as well. So, excuse me. Yeah, all right, we're going to have to just get rid of that now and get on the gloves. So, yeah, it's very important. If you defrost meat, cook it again. You need to cook it before you can refreeze it. You can't freeze it again in its raw state, because it's just harbouring nastiness, basically. So what I have set out here, I'm going to link this little, well, I hope they still sell it for a start, but I'm going to link this down in the description box, because it's really good. It's a solid one, and it wasn't expensive, and it also came with, I had to write on these wee little pieces of sort of the just pre-cut parchment paper, basically, that you freeze them in, and it just helps to separate them out. So what I am going to be doing with this is we're going to, oh, I'm all fingers and thumbs. Hold on. I'm going to take out one of my air fryer baskets first, and basically we're going to put the ones I'm doing straight away into the box. So what I'm going to do with this, if you know you're that way inclined, get out your scales, make sure everything's perfect. You know, I'm not doing that. So what I basically like to do is just do that, and then we're just going to kind of eyeball that in a way to get 4 sort of similar size bits, I suppose. As I said, these are going to be good burgers, ones you can actually get your teeth into. Yeah, I reckon that might do it. Can we see, are we in frame? Hopefully. Now, and that's just a case of doing that, and then you take this handy dandy plungery type looking bit and squeeze it down as hard as you can. Okay. Turn it over, and as you can see, that is a proper sized burger. Okay. Now, I'm putting this one straight into the drawer. We're going to do that again. Make sure as well you're cleaning all your surfaces and stuff like that afterwards, because any type of raw meat at all, not good. Definitely looking a lot better than if you've seen the other ones we attempted here. But it's all about trial and error, isn't it? So, squeeze down. The reason I think I picked this one in the beginning, if I can remember rightly, is because of that bottom that came apart. So I don't want to pick that air fryer up to show you just yet. I'm just going to continue on with these because I want to show you as well how I do them for the freezer. Okay. Or, you know, if you're somebody that barbecues or something, this would be lovely. Now, I'm just going to pop that on there. And the last one. This one's more of an onion burger. Again, you know, onions and stuff like that, if you wanted to reduce that quantity down, you go ahead and do so. This is just the way, the recipe that I found now that we like. So that there is the two that I'm going to put into a Ziploc bag and into the freezer. And yeah, right, I'm just going to go and clean this up and then I'll show you how we cook these. Right, now, there are our two burgers in the air fryer drawer. Okay. They're coming on. I'm going to use air fry and I'm bringing this up to 220 Celsius. I will put Fahrenheit up on top of the screen. And I'm bringing this down to 8 minutes. There we go. And I'll be back when that's done. Forgot to show you. There are our two burger patties now put into a Ziploc bag. Do try and get as much air out of there as you possibly can. It just helps with freezer burn. These will go into my freezer now, and then when I want to cook them from frozen, basically I'm just going to add a couple more minutes onto the cooking time. So we're going to know that when this is finished. So I hope that helps. Right, so these have just done their first 8 minutes. The light's terrible, can't see. Basically all I'm going to be doing is just flipping them over. So you have to be a bit careful with this, but they're not too careful at the same time. Now I'm back in again. There we go. Air fry again, 220, and we're going to, where are we going? No. We're going to go again for another 8 minutes, and I'm going to check the temperature then at that and just make sure that they are done. So that's going on. Now, just hold on, I'll show you. Now, these are what I'm using as burger buns rather than the normal burger buns. It's very dark, is it? Yeah. Anyway, they're what are called the soft baps out of, I got these in Lidl. I really love these instead of the burger bun. They're just so much softer. There's just so much to them. So we're only having this for dinner this evening. I'm not doing any sides or anything because the two of us just haven't been feeling great. So a little bit of lettuce. Now, this is where I want your input on this, right? What do you like? What sort of sauce do you like on your burgers? This might sound a little bit odd and gross to some people, but basically what I like to do is I like to put a little bit of tomato ketchup and a little bit of salad cream. So it's kind of like a seafood type sauce, not really, but in that sense, with some lettuce. Now, I haven't got any tomatoes. I would have a slice of tomato as well. My tomatoes are doing really bad this year, and if I do manage to get any that ripen, I'm not really going to have any that are going to be suitable for cooking or anything like that. But anyway, just let me know down in the comments, sauce on your burgers. Oh, and do you have cheese? That reminds me, I've got to get a slice out for my other half. Okay, we'll come back when this is finished. Right, this has finished again. It's over 8 minutes. The lighting again, I'm gonna have to work on that. So now I think like the guideline is around over 71 Celsius, but I prefer to see, yeah, I am getting about 68, 60, 68, 78, 80, there we go. Brain, I'm telling you. Right, now at this point, I am just going to take mine out and pop it on to the burger. Now, I don't have any of what is classed as real cheese at the minute. I really need to go and do a shop. So this stuff, which I don't class as real cheese, my other half will have that on his burger. So I'm just going to wait for this to cool down. Oh, hold on, I didn't show you. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to wait for that to cool down a little bit. And then I'm going to embarrass myself again by giving it a good old taste test on camera. Okay. Right, lovelies. There is. Definitely looks a lot better than the last one I filmed, the meatball burger. But yeah, so looking forward to this. So here goes. Proper. Apart from the bits all over my mouth, but somebody's not impressed with me down there either. That, fabulous. I am going now to finish that off. I just want to say, as always, thank you so much for spending time with me in the kitchen. It really does mean the world. Please can I ask to make sure you give this video a thumbs up if possible, and consider subscribing if you haven't already, you know, here at Linds on Life and our big extended YouTube family. We'd love to have you. Take care, and I'll talk to you all down in the comments or over on another video.